Okay, I'll just get right into it. I wanted to discuss something that I saw this week in my content being stolen slash not accredited for. I'm going to be doing my makeup while I talk to y'all because I have an interview that I'm going to be doing at 2 o'clock. Okay, so first of all, if anybody's been following me for a while, you've possibly have already known about my brand, Coco's Tea. I've had it for going on 8 years now. Really, the last couple of years, I really been stepping my game up with more content creation. Anybody who knows my story knows that I moved back to Birmingham, my hometown, from Texas, that I was there for 3 years, to come back here and build my career as a media personality content creator. So the thing that I've had a challenge with is balancing having to have a full-time job to pay my bills while also hustling to do what it is that I truly love, with being a media personality and being a content creator. So since being in quarantine, well, first of all, for transparency, again, if you know my story, I've been laid off from my full-time job since December. And over the last 6 months, I was aggressively looking for jobs. Then the pandemic hit. But I really just poured a lot into my business, creating more content, sharpening my interviewing skills, sharpening just my skills overall so that I can make my business more profitable. Cool. So for the last 2-3 months during the quarantine, I've been doing a lot of different interviewing series here on my personal page, Coco, where I've been having more like purposeful, meaningful conversations with people, and then also doing like a podcast replay with other people who previously been on my podcast, Coco's Tea, on my Coco's Tea page. Cool. So that's just kind of become the trend that we've seen on Instagram, right, during this quarantine. So, I do work here at 95.7 Jams part-time. So, of course, they were getting interview requests. And honestly, the station has been getting guests that we typically would not get if we were not in quarantine. I'm 90% sure Chloe and Hallie would have not came to Birmingham to do an interview. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but, I'm guessing. We've also... the station has also had interviews with Wiz Khalifa, Mike from 112, just different, very notable people. And that's just not something you really see in the radio industry these days unless you're like in a top 10 market. Birmingham is not in a top 10 market. I think we're number 63. Okay. So I've been doing a couple of these interviews here and there. My program director, shout out to New York, asked me about doing a interview. Hold on one second. I brought her name up, and as soon as I brought her name up, she texted me, and I'm at work, so I had to respond. So sorry about that. Okay, so she asked me if I wanted to do this interview with Chloe and Hallie. Of course, I said yes, because I think those girls are extremely talented. They're associated with Beyonce. And I was like, duh, yes, put me on Chloe and Hallie. I would love to talk to them. Now, to be completely transparent, this is the first project of theirs that I've really delved into. I really enjoyed this project. And for me, I don't think I handled this interview any differently than I've handled any interview before. I did my research, and I knew what people wanted to know. Plus, I'm nosy. I'm naturally nosy, so I don't have a problem. My friends will tell you I don't have a problem with asking questions that are going, that maybe most people wouldn't ask. I'll just put it like that. So, I was not, long story short, I did not expect that clip / interview with Chloe and Hallie to go viral. I was just asking what I knew the people wanted to know. I knew what the rumors were, and I didn't know anybody else who would ask that question. I was actually really scared to do it because, again, it's not like I'm accustomed to speaking to people who are on that level of being famous. That, I think between Chloe and Hallie and Meg Thee Stallion, I really don't know who's more famous. Those have been the two probably most famous people I've had a chance to interview. So I was a little, like, as soon as I finished that interview Tuesday, my program director called me and was like, that was a great interview. And I didn't think it was good because if you guys watched the live, then you would have seen that the Chloe and Halle stands were tearing my ass up, okay? They were in there like, oh my God, journalists don't do their research. Oh my God, stop asking about Beyonce. Oh my God. You know, I was, and it was throwing me off because, again, I'm not accustomed to doing interviews that big, let alone on Instagram Live where people can put in their comments. So my program director called me immediately to let me know that I did a good job and to ignore the stands because that's what stands do. And she was saying how when I asked that question about Diggy Simmons, how it was probably going to get picked up and become viral. And I was like, it hadn't even crossed my mind. I was like, oh shit. Like, again, I'm not doing anything any different than what I've done in the past. So I'm seeing that it's getting blown up everywhere. First, Neighborhood Talk 2 page on Instagram. Then I seen Hollywood Unlocked, a couple other Instagram blogs. And then, of course, actual media outlets started picking up the story. So Madame Noir, Gossip, All Hip Hop, Hot New Hip Hop. I can't think of all the other outlets. Okay, so as I am getting or seeing my content being reposted, so here's the thing. Yes, I did the interview on the 95.7 Jams page. Okay. However, my name is not 95.7 Jams, bitch. Okay? My name is Coco. Put some respect on my name. And people were not doing that, okay? They were just saying, Chloe and Halle sat down with 95.7 Jams. No. Chloe and Halle sat down with 95.7 Jams radio personality or 95.7 Jams interviewer. Like, I think it's important for people to understand, and this goes back to, in my opinion, basic journalism 101. You give credit to both the outlet and the person. Okay? It's no different than, let's just take, and I'm not comparing myself to this man at all. He's a god in the game. He's a legend in the game. But there's no way that you're going to reference a question that maybe Charlemagne asked without saying his name. You're going to mention, let's just say NBA YoungBoy was on The Breakfast Club and he asked X, Y, and Z. You have to reference both. Come on in. I'm just telling people about giving people credit. Oh. Did you find the paperwork? No. Oh, is that what you come back in here for? No. You come in here to talk to me? Yeah. Dang. You're like 5 minutes. But you can stay in here. You don't have to leave.
I can be packing the truck then.
Okay. So, sorry about that. So, there's no way that you're going to say one without the other. You have to mention who the person was who asked the question. You don't just reference 95.7 Jams. So, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that there were only 2 outlets that I've come across that ran this story that actually mentioned my name, and that was Madame Noir and Gossip. But all new hip hop, hot new hip hop, a bunch of other really small media outlets that ran the story, they didn't mention my name at all. And I also, even some of the Instagram blogs who reposted it didn't mention my name either. And I had to ask them, like, give me credit, like, put some respect on my name, like, run me my credit. Like, yes, it was on the 95.7 Jams page, and and I want you to keep that. Make sure that you still keep that it was on the 95.7 Jams page, but also understand that I was the person who asked the questions. There's one page, Spiritual World, that I actually just started following in the last couple weeks that didn't give credit to nobody. Not nan people. And it had 1.4 million, not dollars, but 1.4 million followers. And it's like, where's your responsibility here? And I think that's what's so frustrating about this content. I won't say era, because content has always been a great way of marketing your brand, or I guess just having a source of income. But people don't know how to properly give credit. And I can admit that this is probably a small part of my ego that's talking here. However, again, I've put in the work. So yes, this is probably the first time that most of these people who have seen my face in that clip are seeing me for the first time, and that's fine. But I've been putting in the work. I've been doing this, and I need you to give me my credit. That's not asking for too much. That's not me being cocky. That's me asking you to do your job properly. So that was something that I noticed this week that was a bit frustrating. Now, on the other hand of things, there's a lot of work that I've been doing behind the scenes on when it comes to content creation between both my personal page, Coco, and Coco's Tea. And I also have a team of people, a small team of people who help me manage my Coco's Tea platform. But on the Coco side, like, it's all me. So I made a graphic that was specifically for Juneteenth today. I posted it like at 3 o'clock this morning. And I was out and about around 10, and I noticed that this woman who has a business, I know the young lady, I'm familiar with her business, and her business page reposted my graphic. Again, there was no credit. There was nothing saying like, reposted from I Am The Real Coco, nothing like that. So at first I was pissed because I was just like, this girl knows me. Why did she just blatantly take my content without giving proper credit? Like, it was not like this is a random person. She knows me and I know her. So I reached out to her and I said, I noticed that your page reposted this graphic. I'm gonna need you to, put some credit to my name on there. And her response was, oh, I just saw it under the Juneteenth hashtag. I just thought it was a generic post. I was like, okay. And I thought that was weird because if you look at the post, and it's on my page right now, there is no hashtag that says Juneteenth. Like, I didn't use any hashtags under this post at all. So I was just like, okay, well, if somebody else is reposting my content and you got it from there, do you mind pointing me in that direction and sending it over to me? And she was like, oh, no, I don't have it because I deleted it. But I can just delete the page. I can just delete the post. No worries. I didn't say anything to her about her needing to delete the post. You can keep up the graphic, but again, give credit. Where is your source? Let's just take it back to basic. What was it? 5th, 6th grade when we started learning MLA and having to give credit to sources that you get your information from. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. Okay, period. So that was just annoying. And then I also felt like it was a slap in the face because she then came back and was like, well, you should use a watermark on your graphics. And she is absolutely correct. I absolutely need to do better in watermarking my content. However, if you understand that people who create content or graphics need to watermark their shit, then that means you understand that you need to be getting proper credit. That means that you understand that you should not be taking other people's content if it's not watermarked, and that means that you need to be giving them credit in return. So you just told on yourself. Because I'm sitting here scrolling through the Juneteenth hashtags, and I don't see the same post I made. I was like, I know I got a little following. My following not that big. So I was real curious to know who else reposted it. I ain't see it nowhere else. I didn't use the hashtag Juneteenth. I didn't see it under the hashtag Juneteenth. Now, granted, there's thousands of Juneteenth posts that's using the hashtag today. But I was just like, girl, we're in the same network. I follow you, you follow me, and you're going to tell me that you got my content from somebody else? You think I'm stupid? Okay. So, I just wanted to give you all some insight as to some of the things that us content creators get frustrated about. And I thought that it was an interesting topic to discuss because, B.Simone recently was accused of stealing a lot of the content from her recent book from other content creators. And I don't think people realize how important it is for people to get that credit. And I think sometimes people think that content creators are just always looking for credit, or to always be boasted up, or to always get a pat on the shoulder, and that's not necessarily it. Like, it's the work that we do is difficult. It's time consuming. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that's put into the work that we do, and for people to take it and not want to give credit is definitely like a slap in the face. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight to that. And then I'm still, growing as a person, like in regards to some of those media outlets not giving me credit or using my name in those articles. A lot of that is just going to have to be me building up my reputation over time. People don't know who I am. People are not familiar with my work, but one day they will be, and they're not going to have a choice but to mention my name. They're not going to have a choice but to give me my credit. But right now, until I get to that point, I have to fight and defend for myself. And so I know there are a lot of people who follow me who are content creators, or people who are like wanting to move into that direction, or people who are wanting to understand the business. I'm still learning myself. I'm just I'm doing the things that's necessary to educate myself. I have a group of people that I tap into who are doing similar work, and I ask them their advice and things of that nature. So I just wanted to put that out there. So thanks for y'all tuning in for my 20-ish minute rant about all of that. And so you guys make sure that you follow the Coco's Tea page. Do that. And then I'm actually doing some work today that'll be put out soon, so you guys will get to see what my next interview would be. So yeah, I appreciate y'all's support. I appreciate y'all being interested in some of the things that I have to say, and not making me feel like I'm stupid for the things that I actually have to put out there. So I appreciate it. I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later.